If you haven't tuned in with us before, welcome to the Stuck in My Thoughts podcast. As always, I'm your host, Justin Stuckey. And if you're a returner, welcome back. I'm here with my new friend, Miss Jess Gardner.
Hello.
She's a pole vaulter at Nebraska. Jess, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I don't have a clue what I'm saying. But yeah, so we're in Atlanta right now, everybody. We're at the NIL Summit. How are you thinking about the experience so far?
It's been awesome. I think obviously the networking opportunities and all the brands here is really exciting, but also to meet other student athletes who are like in the same position as me, navigating this whole NIL thing has been really cool.
Yeah, it's been cool for me too, because like we just said before we started, it's your first time, it's my first time. I didn't really know what to expect. Last year I just saw like the red carpet photos and I was like, okay, I got to get there.
Yeah.
But it's really been like I've never been around so many athletes in one place when we aren't competing.
Yes.
So I think it's a different feel for sure. You kind of get to see how, athletes act outside of athletics and, all the potential opportunities that are there for us outside of athletics. And, when I met you literally maybe 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
2 hours ago. When I put up your Instagram, I told you, I was like, dang, you're big time. You had over 100,000 followers.
That.
So how does that happen? You don't just start at that big following, that big social media platform. Where does it start? And then talk about where you are now.
Yeah. So all the social media stuff for me, I didn't have nearly the amount of followers I have now on my accounts until January. This all started when track season started. Me and one of my roommates, Ashley, started making meet day TikToks, doing things in the locker room, that kind of stuff, and it started to blow up. So yeah, it's just been in the past 6-7 months that everything started to take off and my accounts have grown like that. So it's pretty new.
Was it kind of dang, this is crazy? How's the feeling going from, where'd you start? How many?
I had 2,000 followers on TikTok and
from going from that number, 2K to 100 something K, are you kind of overwhelmed or are you kind of oh, this is cool? How do you?
It's cool. It's really exciting. While it is cool and exciting, it's I'm still the same person. I still go to bed in the same bed and wake up and go through the same daily activities. So I feel just trying not to get too caught up in it because there's also a lot of anxiety and negative things that come with social media. So I feel just keeping it a very surface level, keeping it fun, but never getting too high, never getting too low with it is kind of how I'm trying to navigate it. But
that was a good point you brought up, especially from the female student athlete perspective. Female student athletes deal with a lot of identity things and maybe even self-worth. I don't even know the correct term for it, but you talked about all the anxieties that come with it and not trying to let it consume you. What advice do you have, or have you yourself had the experience with maybe, I have to be this certain way for the people that I may not even know? Yeah,
no, it's really hard. And we have a great sports psychology department at Nebraska. So I've talked a lot with sports psych about it. But it's interesting. There's a lot of studies being done on the impact of NIL on female athletes, just because the comparison and the competitiveness that already existed prior to NIL in the female athletic space, not just for athletic performance, but for everything.
Yeah.
So that just being another factor to it, there's a lot of studies being done on the impact that it's having on female athletes. But I guess just recognizing when I find myself comparing or getting too wrapped up in the comments, knowing when I need to check out for a little bit, knowing, I don't know, when I need to remind myself to not take things so seriously. Because you're never going to please everyone. You're never going to make everyone happy. So I guess just knowing that it's my page and I'm in control of the content I put out and I know myself and I know what I like and I know what I can put. Exactly. So it's just being sure of yourself is the best thing you can do to navigate it.
With that type of, I don't even know, popularity is a great word for it. With that type of popularity and traction to your page, when you say you just started in January, it's pretty recent. How do you keep, you're a regular college student, you're a student athlete, so we're a little bit supreme, I feel your circle, the people you hang around, how do you kind of filter out people that may be hanging out with you just for followers and people that are chewing your corner? Because through the course of college, you're still meeting new people daily, even through the course of your life. How do you kind of filter that out and make sure they're there for the right intention, not just the clout?
Yeah, well, I feel I've really relied on, as this social media stuff has taken off, my friends that I had before the following grew, and just making sure I stay close and connected with those guys. Those guys are my friends for a reason, and we were friends before any of that stuff. And also the social media growth has happened alongside my roommate and friend Ashley, and we're super close.
Shout out Ashley.
Yeah, shout out Ashley McElmurray, triple jumper at Nebraska. She's awesome.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, like going through it together has been nice because we're like experiencing all of the same things. So I haven't really, I feel like, dealt with people, I don't know, trying to just hang out with me for like the following or that sort of stuff. My like friend group has stayed pretty close all throughout college, and it's the same friends I had before.
Yeah, I try to keep a tight circle. You say you're a junior or senior?
Senior.
Upcoming senior or already a senior?
I'm going to go into my 5th year next year.
Shout out to the old heads out there.
Yep,
5th
year.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I'm old.
So like, you know, Nebraska, you've had a great time there, and you've obviously had a lot of success off the track with social media, but kind of talk about on the track. You know, you're a pole vaulter. You know, pole vaulters got to get more love out here. You know, we talked about how track and field is a sport that, you know, doesn't really get all the love. Just talk about like your team, the experience you've had, and, you know, what are the goals and then what are the best parts about being on Nebraska track and field?
Yeah, I love Nebraska. I couldn't be more thankful for my experience at Nebraska all across the board in athletics, but like not just the sport of track and field. Like we have an amazing life skills department. I just got back from a Panama trip.
Okay.
We did a service trip in Bocas del Toro, which is like an island there. The sports psychology department, which I already mentioned, our dietitians are great. Like our academic advisors, Mike, is great. Like everything that they have set up for us is great. It's in place. Like you're bound to be successful at Nebraska. Our trainers, like everything across the board is insane. Like I feel so lucky to be at Nebraska. And then on top of that, like my team, obviously, you know, being on a track and field team, it's really cool because it's such a unique group of everyone's so different from one another.
Really
and there's
diverse.
Exactly. Yeah. It's awesome just like getting to know all those people. And we have so many great leaders and just like great personalities on the track team. So that's a lot of fun. The coaching staff is great. Like I love Nebraska.
Oh yeah. I know Mason, I know Jenna, high jump crew, shout out to you guys. But I was like, man, Nebraska's cold. How do you deal with that up there? Do you have an indoor facility?
Yeah,
Okay.
We have an indoor track. We have a really nice indoor track. It's on a hydraulics thing. We can bank it or flatten it.
Okay, yeah. Oh, wait, now I have seen pictures. I'm tripping. That's cool. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So I kind of want to stay, you know, all across the board. We've talked about your social media. We've talked about on the track a little bit. Let's just talk about you as a person. Like, tell the world more about Jess Gardner. They see you on social media, but they don't really get to know you. Like,
okay.
What? Like, tell us about you.
Okay, so I'm from Nebraska. I am the youngest of 4. I have 2 older sisters and 1 older brother. I love my family. I'm pretty close with my siblings. I'm pre-medicine, so I want to go on to med school and be a doctor. In my free time, I really enjoy hanging out with my friends. I really enjoy like learning. I'm like, I want to be like a lifelong learner. So I'm always like trying to take on new challenges or like, I don't know, just like learn new things. I really like art. I took like an advanced pottery class in high school and I was really good at it. And I actually like won an art competition. We like were required to enter a piece in it, but pottery is not really like attainable for me to be doing as a hobby right now, but I like to paint. So actually when we were in Panama, I was able to like paint a library down at the preschool that we were helping at, which was really cool. Me and Clara, she's a gymnast from Italy, but she's also really artistic. So the 2 of us kind of like took on the project together, and I don't know, it was really fun. But I really enjoy that, things that like allow me to be creative. I don't know.
You got a lot right there. I didn't expect the pottery. It's like, wait a minute, let me be correct. Pottery, you sit at it and you're like, with the hands.
That's like the wheel, yeah. You can do that.
What do you do?
I did the wheel and all of it.
That's what's up right there. I wish I was that creative.
I get it from my dad. My dad's pretty artistic.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So the name of the show is Stuck in My Thoughts. And I told you I was going to ask you this. What is something that you get stuck in your thoughts about?
I think I get stuck in my thoughts about always wanting to do more, always wanting to be better, like always chasing like improvements and more. And I kind of just have to like remind myself to like be where my feet are and like I'm always doing the best I can. But it's just like, I feel like I have a lot of things going and I'm a very ambitious person, and sometimes to a fault, like I'll spread myself too thin, but I can just be kind of hard on myself because I'm like, oh, I could have done more with this, or oh, I should have done that, or like just always thinking of ways to like improve and grow, which is great, but also it can get a little bit overwhelming. Yeah. So I get stuck in my thoughts about that.
I like that. Yeah. I feel like that's relatable by everybody though. You know, you just want to kind of, you know, keep the main thing to make sure you don't get too high and don't get too low, especially in the times we live in today with all this stuff going on. But yeah, exactly. All right, we got this thing called a Dropbox question. As y'all know, this episode happened very quickly, so I gotta bring out my phone, which I never do. Okay, if you could have one NIL deal, what would it be?
One NIL deal? Oh my gosh. One like for the rest of my life, like I can't have any others?
Like
or
if it
like
was like
what's
your
a dream NIL
dream
deal?
NIL deal.
Oh man, this is a hard question. I may have to come back to this. I'm gonna have to give it a little more thought. I feel like I have to be very intentional with what I choose.
Oh yeah, because you could probably get it.
I don't know about that, but I just want to be very mindful. We'll have to come back to it. I need to think on it.
Okay.
That's okay.
What is a show you're currently watching right now?
Me and Ashley started watching How to Get Away with Murder.
Oh, okay.
Shonda Rhimes, have you ever seen it?
I've seen like clips. I haven't seen like the shows all the way through.
I'm a big Scandal fan.
Okay, yep,
and
I've seen
she's
Scandal.
the same writer, and yeah, we've been kind of binge watching it before she left to go back home. But yeah, it's good. You should check it out.
I'll check it out. I've been watching.
You watch it?
Tevin, our photographer behind the scenes, watches Scandal. Look, this is what I've been like. I hate when Netflix does this. They drop a great show like All American, which I love, and then I just stay up till like 3 a.m. binge watching it.
Yeah.
So that's me.
Yeah.
That's me. Okay, if you could have dinner with 3 people, dead or alive, who would it be?
Okay, Jesus.
Oh, gotta love the Lord.
Yes, I feel like that one is self-explanatory. Simone Biles. Okay. I watched Simone Biles compete at the Olympic trials in St. Louis.
Okay.
And then also just like have a ton of respect for her and what she did at the Olympic Games. And like, I just think that she's awesome. And those are the 2 that when you told me this earlier, I came up with. And then I couldn't think of a third one. So I've been kind of like stewing on it. This is going to be kind of weird, but I think like my younger self, like my,
that'd be good.
like, I don't know, 8 or 9-year-old Jess.
How you think 8 or 9-year-old Jess would think about the Jess right now?
I think that she would think that everything going on is crazy. I mean, first of all, I was a gymnast growing up. I was a gymnast up until high school. So I think she would be confused about pole vault or what it even is. But also just like NIL, college athletics in general, I think she would be like shocked.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up. So you have 1 or 2 more years left.
1.
Okay. 1 more year left at Nebraska as a college athlete, and you see how the NIL spaces go. What is the lasting impact you want to have?
Yeah, my lasting impact is I want to use NIL and use this platform that I am in the process of building for something bigger than myself, for a greater good. Like, don't get me wrong, like making money off stuff is great, but like I want to have a positive impact on the world, whether that's like making people's days or like giving back to organizations that I care about. Like I want to do more and be more than just an athlete who makes money from social media.
I like that, more than an athlete. Jess, I appreciate you taking the time. We got to get to dinner. Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. We running it back. I had surgery, but we back on the podcast. So we're going to catch y'all later. We out.